Hello everyone. My name is Meshach and I never thought I'd be sharing a story like this. Recently, I had an experience that shook me to my core, a near-death experience that brought me face to face with unimaginable realities. During that experience, I saw people in places beyond this life, places that were haunting and shocking, places like hell. Among the souls I encountered there, I saw several famous hip-hop artists, individuals whose music and influence shaped millions, including me. Their presence in that dark place was unsettling, and I felt compelled to share what I saw with the world, not out of judgment but as a warning. I never thought much about the impact of fame, its glamour and allure often eclipsed by the struggles hidden underneath. But as my life spiraled into places I never expected, I found myself at a crossroads, compelled to question what my path could lead to if I didn't change course. This journey led me to reflect on some of hip-hop's most iconic figures, artists whose journeys both inspired and warned me. In my moments of self-reflection, I came face to face with the legacy of 5 legendary artists: Biggie, Tupac, DMX, Lil Keed, and Lil Phat. Their lives weren't just about music. They were about choices, consequences, and the ever-present tension between light and darkness. Biggie Smalls, also known as the Notorious B.I.G., left a profound mark on the hip-hop world with his storytelling and charisma. But beyond his undeniable talent lay a complex man grappling with the tension between success and survival. Known for his tales of life on the streets, Biggie's music became a voice for a generation, embodying the duality of ambition and fear. He faced the pull of fame and fortune but couldn't escape the ghosts of his past that haunted him. Biggie's life reminded me of the struggle many of us face, our inner battle between wanting success and finding peace within. His story served as a lesson that we must look beyond fame's allure, seeking a purpose that endures. For him, the legacy left behind was one of brilliance and caution. Talent can take you far, but it's the choices we make that determine where we'll truly end up. He craved the attention and admiration of fans like oxygen. His entire life had been devoted to building an image, maintaining an aura of perfection, and winning the love of millions. In hell, however, he found himself in complete isolation. There were no fans, no followers, no one to admire him. It was a hollow existence, a reminder of the emptiness of fame when it becomes your sole purpose. I watched as he tried to call out, tried to get attention, but there was only silence. The desperation in his eyes was something I'll never forget. Fame, when sought as an end rather than a means, had become his eternal prison.
Tupac Shakur was much more than just a hip-hop artist. He was a poet, activist, and complex individual whose work spoke to deep societal issues and personal struggles. Known for his outspoken nature and fiery lyrics, Tupac was never afraid to confront uncomfortable truths about racial injustice, poverty, and violence. Through his music and public persona, he pushed audiences to confront the raw realities of life, especially for Black communities in America, and he became a voice for the voiceless. Despite his passion for justice and positive change, Tupac's life was marked by inner conflict and contradictions. He projected a tough exterior but was also vulnerable, grappling with his own pain and insecurities. His songs often showed both sides of his nature. On one hand, tracks like Keep Your Head Up promoted respect and empowerment, while others like Hit Them Up reflected the anger and aggression he felt in his challenging environment. This duality made him both relatable and deeply human, resonating with millions. Tupac's impact extended beyond the music industry. He was involved in activism, often using his platform to draw attention to police brutality, systemic racism, and the struggles of marginalized people. He had the ability to blend activism with art, reaching audiences far and wide. Yet, as his fame grew, so did the tension between his desire for social change and the pressures of the industry, along with the conflicts he faced in his personal life. His life, cut tragically short at the age of 25, left behind a legacy that continues to inspire debates about fame, loyalty, and integrity. Tupac remains an icon whose work is still studied for its cultural and political impact. He lived with intensity, and his music remains a powerful force, urging listeners to consider their own lives and the world around them. In many ways, Tupac Shakur's story is a cautionary tale, but it is also an enduring reminder of the transformative power of art and the risks that come with being true to one's beliefs. His life and legacy reflect a powerful lesson, that one's voice can shake systems and inspire hope, even if the journey toward truth and justice is fraught with struggle and sacrifice. He was one of the most popular figures in hip-hop, with lyrics that had glorified violence, promoted gang affiliations, and turned crime into a badge of honor. His songs had millions of fans chanting along, celebrating a life on the edge. In hell, however, he seemed trapped in a violent cycle of his own making. The sounds of his own music echoed, a haunting reminder of the impact he'd had on others' lives. Here, his influence had become his curse, trapping him in an endless loop of regret. I could see that he was paying for the lives affected by his words, the glorification of violence that had led so many down dark paths. DMX, born Earl Simmons, was known for his gritty and raw style, which set him apart in the hip-hop world. His music often reflected his troubled past, growing up in poverty, dealing with abuse, and facing constant battles with addiction. This intense background brought an authentic, almost visceral quality to his lyrics, which resonated deeply with his fans. DMX's music wasn't just about rhymes. It was a cry from the soul, drawing on his pain and struggles to create songs that many saw as therapeutic and deeply relatable. DMX's faith was a central part of his life, and he often spoke openly about his belief in God. Despite his struggles, he regularly prayed publicly and expressed remorse for his past actions. Many of his songs reflected the spiritual battle between darkness and light, with DMX seeking redemption even as he struggled to leave behind a life of crime and addiction. His vulnerability in expressing this inner conflict allowed fans to connect with him on a personal level, as they saw a man striving for change while grappling with his demons. Throughout his career, DMX's legal and personal struggles often made headlines. His ongoing battles with addiction led to multiple arrests and stints in rehabilitation, and his troubled past continued to affect his personal life and career. While he found success and fame, these issues created instability in his life, with DMX frequently expressing the pain and frustration that came from feeling trapped by his circumstances. This sense of entrapment and yearning for freedom became a recurring theme in his work. Even in his passing, DMX's legacy endures, as he left an indelible mark on hip-hop. His life was a testament to resilience and the quest for redemption. Although his journey was marked by suffering, his music continues to inspire people who relate to his struggles. DMX's story reminds us of the importance of compassion, forgiveness, and faith, even when faced with life's harshest challenges. His lyrics often celebrated indulgence, from heavy partying to promiscuity. In hell, I witnessed him surrounded by temptations, each more tantalizing than the last, but each one slipping just out of reach. It was as if he were trapped in an endless cycle of yearning without satisfaction. His pleasure-seeking lifestyle had been his downfall, and now he was forever tormented by desires he could never fulfill. His expressions of regret and torment were a stark contrast to the joyful, carefree image he'd always projected. It was clear that the pursuit of momentary pleasures had led him to eternal suffering. Lil Keed, born Raked Jevon Render, was an up-and-coming Atlanta rapper who rose to fame through his connection with Young Thug and the YSL, Young Stoner Life, label. Known for his unique voice and style, Lil Keed quickly became a notable figure in the trap and hip-hop scenes, with hits like Nameless and Snake showcasing his raw talent and creativity. His lyrics often touched on the challenges he faced growing up in Atlanta, as well as his desire to rise above his circumstances and build a better life for himself and his family. As his career gained momentum, Keed's music began to resonate deeply with a younger audience, many of whom saw his success as an inspiration. Despite the hardships he faced, he remained focused on making a name for himself and providing for his family. He saw music not just as a means to fame but as a path to a new life, one where he could break free from the struggles that defined his early years. This ambition and drive were evident in both his work ethic and the raw energy he poured into his songs. However, The demands of fame and the pressures associated with the music industry can be challenging, and Lil Keed faced some struggles behind the scenes. Balancing the lifestyle associated with being a high-profile rapper while remaining true to oneself can often be challenging. For Lil Keed, the tension between these two worlds became a difficult journey. Despite this, he tried to stay focused on his music and used it as an outlet to express his battles, dreams, and aspirations. Lil Keed's sudden passing at a young age left his fans and the hip-hop community mourning a promising talent gone too soon. His music continues to inspire and resonate with those who saw in him an artist who, despite his struggles, was determined to make his mark. Lil Keed's legacy reminds listeners of the power of perseverance and the courage it takes to chase one's dreams, even in the face of adversity. Known for his struggles with substance abuse, he had often shared his battles in his lyrics, even romanticizing the highs and lows of his drug use. In Hell, he seemed trapped in a nightmarish cycle, forever reaching for a substance that wasn't there. His body looked worn, and his soul seemed exhausted, as though he'd been through an eternity of craving without satisfaction. I could sense his regret for the lives his music may have influenced, the countless fans who had followed in his footsteps, thinking that the pain he sang about was glamorous. His addictions in life had followed him to the next world, chaining him to a torturous, unending craving. Lil Phat's story is one of talent cut short by the dangers that surrounded him. Known for his loyalty to those he loved, his life was a stark reminder of the cost that loyalty can sometimes demand. He rose quickly in the industry, but his connections and dedication to his past ultimately entangled him in the very struggles he sought to escape. His story echoes the warning that loyalty, while admirable, must be tempered with wisdom. Lil Phat's life taught me the importance of discernment. We can remain true to those we love without compromising our own well-being. His story is a reminder that while loyalty is valuable, it should never come at the expense of one's future or safety. For him, fame was a double-edged sword, amplifying both the good and the bad. Gold chains, luxury cars, even enormous, glitzy stages. Yet all these things seemed distorted, twisted by the eerie landscape of hell. This artist was known for living a life of immense success, glorifying the pursuit of fame, money, and material things. In life, he had it all: fame, power, and influence. But here he was chained, not by gold but by his obsessions and addictions. The glitz and glamour had turned into chains of darkness that weighed him down. He had always sung about how money could solve everything, but now, the emptiness of those promises was clear. There was no wealth or status that could save him here, and his anguish was profound. This experience was one of the most terrifying and humbling of my life. The truth is, none of us can say we're immune to these temptations. Fame, wealth, pleasure, influence, and addiction. These things seem enticing, but they come with their own chains. What I saw in Hell reminded me that it's not just our actions but the impact of those actions that matters. These artists were immensely talented, yet they were paying the price for the messages they had promoted, the lives they had impacted in ways that led people away from light and truth. So, my message is simple but urgent. Consider the choices you're making. This life is fleeting, but eternity is not. None of us knows when our time will come, and we don't want to look back with regret. Let's be mindful of our actions, seek a higher purpose, and make a difference in ways that uplift rather than destroy. If this story resonates with you, I urge you to take it to heart and make changes. The message I received was one of love, a chance for us all to turn away from darkness and toward the light. Each of these artists walked a path marked by both triumph and turmoil, reminding us that fame is fleeting, but the impact of our choices endures. They've left us with music that will stand the test of time, but their lives also carry deeper lessons. In my journey, I've realized that the most valuable legacy isn't built on wealth or recognition. It's built on integrity, purpose, and the courage to face one's own demons. As we reflect on these lives, Let's remember the importance of seeking purpose beyond popularity and success. Fame may be alluring, but it is purpose, resilience, and love that truly define a life well lived. If this testimony moved you, please share it, like the video, and subscribe to our channel for more eye-opening stories. Remember, it's never too late to make a change and live with purpose. Let's spread this message together.